6 in today's video has to do with annotating novels and how it can help you be a better writer. So annotating basically is highlighting, or as I like to, underlining various different parts that I find interesting in a novel and giving some description about what your thought process is. Maybe it has to do with character development, it might have to do with something relevant to characters or another, plot devices, or just anything that really catches your interest. And doing those different things can help you be a better writer because you're actively taking note of it instead of just zooming through it, the book. And I have 3 books I'm going to use as examples that I've annotated. The first book is called The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood, and I'll read to you the back description to describe what the book is about. Offered as a handmaid in the Republic of Gilead, she may leave the house of the commander and his wife once a day to walk to food markets whose signs are now pictures instead of words because women are no longer allowed to read. She must lie on her back once a month and pray that the commander makes her pregnant because in an age of declining births, Offered and the other handmaids are valued if their ovaries are viable. Offered can remember the years before, as she lived and made love with her husband, Luke, when she played with, protected her daughter, when she had a job, money of her own, and access to knowledge. But all of that is gone now. So yeah, this is the setting for this world. And this woman, Offered, she has a room that she's basically describing her room. And I put a little asterisk and I put near the sentence, and it's actually near both 2 sentences. And it says, the door of the room, not my room, I refuse to say my, is not locked. In fact, it doesn't shut properly. Now you might think, what's the big deal about that? To me, I saw this as the rebel way Offered can. And sometimes when I'm making notes, I don't always write in perfect English. Sometimes I do. So I'm going to make sure I explain what that meant. That meant that I believe this was Offered's internal way of rebelling in the only way she could. She was acknowledging that this room she was staying in was not her room. It was a room she was staying in. She referred to it as the room. And that is her internal way of rebelling and not letting this horrible society completely brainwash her. The next book I'll refer to is my friend's book, which is Blair Cousin, and this book is The Distance Between. It's the first book in a series. And the very first sentence says, the clock ticked by in the silent classroom. Now that in itself might seem like, okay, there's nothing going on here. But one of the notes I made was, good sentence for setting. Shows how in the classroom and the atmosphere in there. And what I meant by that is that this is the very first sentence, and we already know that this setting that this character is going to be in is going to be in a classroom and it's silent. That's setting up the atmosphere. The setting basically has to do with the time, where the people are, various aspects like that. Things that you really have to take care of in a book. If you trust me, people can notice if it's not there. Sometimes be something that can be taken for granted. And other people, that's absolutely something that they love. So I thought this was a good first sentence. And this book it says, basically, orphaned at the age of 13, Esther Dutton dreams of the day she could leave her small town and join the ranks of the prestigious planetary force, the Reincarnation of Rangers. Ever since bandits slaughtered her family, she has wanted to become a ranger so she can stop atrocities like what happened to her family from happening again. However, before she can become a ranger, she has to outrank the hundreds of other ranger hopefuls. To make matters worse, she can no longer stay at the orphanage since she turns 18, meaning she has to get in soon, while she still has a roof over the top of her head. She has the will and determination, but she can't afford to get distracted, even if it means putting her old dreams aside. As Esther runs full speed towards her goals, strong forces work in the background, forces that may prove to be stronger than anything she has ever faced. Will Esther's actions save her world or be the catalyst that destroys it? Okay. The next book. This is called Regina Rising. This is from the Once Upon a Time series. This is by Wendy Toliver. Once Upon a Time is this story where they basically put all the types of Disney characters into one show that also deals with the modern world while referring back to the Disney characters in their Disney original world. This is about Regina, the evil witch who gives Snow White the poisoned apple, seeing the red apple here. And these are some notes that I made. One note I made was, I wish she would have trumped up the stairs and locked the door with her own two hands instead of using magic. However, subtlety was not her nature. This is going to show how Regina is a teenager here and how she already on the second page is showing that she has conflict with her mother. And then in comparison, I'm going to read this part. I'd always admired the rug my father had brought home for me for one of his many trips. Not only did it protect me from hard, chilly floor beneath, but it also kept me amused. Growing up, I spent countless hours lying on my belly, letting my imagination run rampant with adventures I could have with all the trees, flowers, and animals woven into it, as if it were real. Shows opposite warm with father. So that was showing that instead of saying that she wished the mother would just hurry up and just go upstairs and would just not use her magic, how she's admiring something the father gave her and is bringing her happiness thinking about this. And in another sentence I will show you, I will have where it says, he shrugged modestly. Keep in mind for next time that nothing found in nature is truly perfect. And I put, is there a double meaning? I felt like that had to do with some type of something relevant to the plot, because it says, keep in mind next time that nothing found in nature is truly perfect. Like that's something that's going to be relevant to the plot, just from that sentence. Also, the last sentence that I have in here that I wanted to go over with everybody is this, where it says, Regina, she said, I have the feeling you'll be a force to be reckoned with someday. And I put evil queen, cliffhanger, dialogue, and makes you want to see how Regina goes about this, her mother, and if magic enhances. So in this book, this is basically Regina doesn't have her powers yet, and she's starting to develop them. Of course, I'm just going to say this is all spoilers. Don't worry, I have in the description below. These are spoilers. If you don't want to see the spoilers, then don't. Then the part of the book where it talks about Regina Rising, don't go here. Just go to the end. But anyway, I'm saying like this is saying that, of course, we reckon with the Evil Queen is very powerful in the series and also just in the story because she gave Snow White the apple. I'm saying that it's showing that it's a cliffhanger because at the end of the chapter I'm at, and it makes you want to know how Regina goes about this with her mother, who's very controlling, and how she gets her magical powers. And also, I had in here, my dear, oh wait, one more thing I will read. My dear daughter, I'm sure Claire would agree releasing your art teacher was the only respectable choice in the matter. What kind of mother would I be if I allowed him to touch you as if you were a waitress in a seedy tavern? And pretty much I put a bad word here because I was really upset with the mothers. Regina has like some mutual attraction with this teacher who's not that much older with her. He's not really trying to be really extremely inappropriate. They just, you can tell that there's some feelings there. And the mother's not, you can tell by the mother's character, she's not acting in Regina's best interest. She just wants to control her. And I put, you just want to control her life as your pawn. Let me see if there's anything else that I wanted to come from here. I don't want to ruin this whole book for anybody in case anyone likes Disney or Once Upon a Time or fairy tales. I like this book. So these are some different notes that I've taken and some different ways I'm showing that writing those notes down helps you think about various things that are happening in the story and be aware of it. If you have any questions, you can definitely comment below and I will answer. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.